with liberty and justice for all.
By asking our newly elected board trustees, Glenn Nile and Kerry Cunningham, to take the oath of office. If you wouldn't mind just repeating that.
I, Kerry Cunningham, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of the Board of Education according to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Mr. Niles.
I, Glenn Niles, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of the Board of Education according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Our first agenda item is the election of officers. So we'll begin with the nomination for President of the Board of Education. Is there a motion to nominate a president?
I nominate Steve Jamor.
Is there a second? Any other nominations? Okay, so all those in favor? Motion approved, 7-0. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Gavin. You see, Ms. Gavin runs the show every day of the year, and without her, we'd be totally lost. But these 6 minutes drive her crazy. But thank you, thank you. Okay, so the next item of business is the election of the Vice President of the Board of Education. Are there any nominations, please?
I nominate Senator Seaver for Vice President.
Is there a second? Thank you. Thank you. All those in favor? The motion passes unanimously, 7-0. Thank you all. Now I have to start reading. Okay. First of all, to begin, welcome to our two trustees. As you know, this is not a high-paying job. It's tough to find qualified people under the circumstances. We appreciate you taking up the challenge. We really do. Thank you so much. Okay, we're moving down now to your consideration of the Putnam County Legislative Representative. In other words, we need a member of the Board of Education who will represent the district at the appropriate meetings at the county level. Do we have a nomination for that role, please?
Can we ask, is someone interested? Bertie did it for quite a many years.
She did.
So,
Can we ask what the details exactly? I'm not exactly sure.
I actually called her because I wasn't sure either. And she said basically she would reach out to one of the Putnam County legislators and just talk to them about what's going on and relay information back. Oftentimes she would cruise through newspapers, and if there was something going on, she would go and attend. It was related to education, which not much of it really is, but if it did, that would kind of be where she would place herself. So it didn't seem like it was a lot of time, but just to keep communications going with them, and yeah, it's kind of what she said. So
And Bertie did mention too that she would be available to whomever to give you your guidance in that role. I believe we have one of our legislators working at the high school. Yeah.
If Mary Kay is interested, I would nominate Mary Kay Nielsen.
So just as an aside,
Just
okay?
as an aside, she's going to snap me now, but.
unless someone else wants to,
Okay. Well, I'm going to take that as a nomination. All I need now is a second. Second. Thank you very much. All those in favor? Guess what? You're our new legislator. Oh, now let's tell you what the job's really involved. Well done. Thank you. Okay. The next officer is the BOE Standards and Compliance Officer. What the background to that is this. every organization that you know that serves the public has to have standards or codes of ethics, and it has to have some teeth, someone who's going to help monitor it. That one person isn't the sheriff, isn't the marshal in town. Frankly, the entire board has to do it. But when push comes to shove, you, the public, have to know that someone here is watching. And that's what this job here is going to be all about, the compliance officer. So I'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of a candidate.
Well, if Diane's still interested.
Diane, still interested? Okay, we have Diane. We have a second for that, please. Thank you both very much. All those in favor? Diane, you're on for another year. Better watch your P's and Q's. Diane's tough. Okay, item C regards recognition. The Brewster Central School District graduates entering the armed forces, and Chief Chris Melonges is going to help us with it. Thank goodness.
Good evening, everyone. Hear me okay? All right. As most of you know, my name is Chief Chris Melonges, and I am one of 2 naval science instructors here at Brewster High School. Commander Whaley regrets that he could not be here, but sends his regards to all. He is currently heading up the academics program at our Area 4 Leadership Academy in Newport, Rhode Island. In fact, we actually have 3 cadets attending that right now, and I look forward to seeing them graduate at the end of the week. Members of the school board, district officials, administrative staff, faculty, and guests, it's a true pleasure to be here with you this evening. Dr. Henning, thank you for the opportunity to address this body and help recognize our outstanding military service volunteers. To Colton, Jack, Angelo, Kevin, Stephen, Brandon, Catherine, Duncan, Nick, and Tyler, thank you for being part of the very small group of students nationwide that raised their right hand and swore to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. In fact, you've done what less than 5% of U.S. high school students do each year. That's truly remarkable. And congratulations on getting such great jobs. You will soon be soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen. And landing these jobs was not as easy as many think. It's actually quite competitive. Only about 30% to 35% of candidates actually get a job in the military. In order to be considered for military service, you have to pass the Armed Forces Vocational Aptitude Battery Test, which you all did very well at, thanks to our school system here. You had to meet demanding physical and medical testing requirements. And had to have, here we go. And you had to have and maintain a very clean record. Even excessive traffic tickets can be a disqualifier, amongst many, many other things. So I'm going to brag a little bit, just for a few minutes, because I'm not sure that many people really realize what a great choice that you made. Let's all think for just 1 second. How many people do you know landed a 4-year employment contract before even graduating high school? A contract that includes the following. 1, yearly compensation, housing, and health coverage package that ranges from $39,000 to $55,000 in their first year, depends on where they're stationed. And that goes up, guaranteed raise every year, maybe even more if they make rank. 2, 100% tuition assistance while they serve. Many servicemen and women make significant progress towards or even earn a bachelor's degree within their first 4 years of service. They get a kickstart right from the beginning because they start earning college credit as they complete their occupational schools. It's a little known fact that all Department of Defense service schools and occupations are evaluated annually by the American Council on Education. ACE then automatically awards service members college credit as they complete the school or as they promote. And that goes on a transcript that starts the day they start boot camp. 3, tax-free shopping at military installations around the world. That applies to chewing gum all the way up to cars. Good financial position there. 100% financing on no down payment VA loans. And then last but not least, once they complete their service, they can use their post-9/11 GI Bill to pay for a vocational, bachelor's, master's, or doctoral program. A scholarship and housing package worth $100,000 to $150,000, depending on where they study. So recruits, put all together, it's easy to see that you made a wise career choice. That being said, you're going to earn every bit of it, and then some. Military service is not easy. It will likely be the most challenging time in your life. You all already have some sense of the challenges and risk ahead. You certainly know what's at stake. Yet, you chose to step forward anyway. There is no way to properly compensate for you for what you're about to do for us. In fact, you have written us, your countrymen, a blank check. You've added to our greatest wealth, the men and women of our armed forces who protect us and ensure that we remain free. We cannot thank you enough, and we're very proud of you. If you're in attendance, please stand and remain standing as I call your name. Colton Booth, U.S. Navy. Jack Blando, U.S. Navy. Angelo Conchignano, U.S. Marine Corps. Kevin Codiers, U.S. Navy. Stephen DaCosta, U.S. Navy. Brandon Girdley, U.S. Marine Corps. Catherine Maria Salazar, Army National Guard. Duncan Russell, he's currently in the United States Military Academy, right now in training, West Point. Nick Scazzaro, U.S. Coast Guard. And Tyler Speed, Air National Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, here's to these brave men and women. Here's to Brewster's top 5%. Now, if you will kindly, recruits, please kindly head outside. We're going to get a picture. Okay. Thank you very much.
Before you go, could you please come up and shake our hands? All of you young men, would you come out to the stage?
Ms. Coiler, Ms. Sullivan, could you come up, please? I'd like to thank all the parents who were able to get these fine young people to come back this afternoon, and thank you for your patience, and we really appreciate the fact that they were able to come tonight, and thank you for those of you who contacted us to help us to do the right thing. Thank you.
Okay, so the next couple of pieces of our agenda are the things that we have to do every year at this time. That's why it's called a reorganization meeting. And I'll do it by categories and not read each of the details. You can see there on the list. First thing that we're going to do, section D, regards the appointment of officers, and they include the district clerk, they include our treasurer, the receiver of taxes, and the claims auditor. These 5 categories that are listed here. I'll take a motion and a second to the motion, and we'll vote on it, please. I have a motion from Ms. O'Brien. Thank you very much, Ms. McCall. Questions or comments concerning these? All those in favor? The motion passes 7-0.
Dr. Jambor,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, I'd just like to welcome our new claims auditor, Linda Carpenter.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank her for joining us. She comes to us with years of experience in auditing other school districts around the region, and we're looking forward to working with her.
Well, we really are. We're very proud of our financial operation. And frankly, I think you're joining a strong team, and we look forward to your contribution as well. Thank you. We move on for section E, which concerns other appointments. These include our school attorney, the law services, our school physician, and you could read the rest, external auditors, CSE special appointments, and our records management, other details. I'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of these other appointments. Thank you, Ms. Masika. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? The motion passes 7-0. Section F concerns designations such as our official banks, and you see listed there, our official newspapers. Turn the page, coming around the corner. And that's it for now under this section, I think. Right, okay, so we'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of this section of designations. Thank you both, Ms. McCall and Ms. Nielsen. Questions or comments concerning these designations? Seeing none, all those in favor, the motion passes 7-0. Now we're on to section G. In this regards, authorizations to certify payrolls, attendance, capital funds expenditures, and so forth. Lots of things. The board authorizes the district's participation in cooperative bids, again with BOCES. We'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of these authorizations. Thank you both, Ms. Cunningham and Mr. Niles. I got it right? I did, thank you. Okay. I'll just, if you don't mind, I'll take the next year practicing it. Okay, all those in favor? The motion passes 7-0. Item H concerns other items. You ask after all of this, what other items can there be? I'll respond. Establishment of the mileage reimbursement rate as per the IRS statute. Readoption of all existing policies, that's a very important one, including ethics and public officers law section. And then the reauthorization of vendor-specific credit cards. Take a motion, please, for your consideration of other items. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Thank you, Ms. Kakal. Questions or comments concerning these? Seeing none, all those in favor, the motion passes 7-0. List of association memberships, there is only one. That's the New York State School Boards Association, or two actually. New York State School Boards Association and the Westchester Putnam School Boards Association. Take a motion, please, for your consideration of this. Thank you again, Ms. Nielsen and Ms. Kakal. I will point out this has been the most active board in Brewster's history in terms of getting out there and being professionally involved with all of these organizations. I mean that sincerely. Thank you. All those in favor? The motion passes 7-0. Item J concerns the establishment of board committees and membership. These we might want to take our time with. The first one is the Audit Committee. Our committee person is Alan Wilson, who's been there for a while. Joe Charbonneau has been there. He was formerly on the board. The BOE members at this point, it might be Ms. Masika. That's what you will tell me. Is that the way it is?
So on the audit committee right now,
Yeah.
last year I was on it as well, yes.
Okay.
Meaning, Mr. David,
Okay, he's not here.
So he's with him.
Okay.
I don't mind continuing with it unless someone really wants to get an audit.
Okay.
We need a second person.
You need a second person on the audit anyway.
What's the time commitment and how long will it be? I believe we're quarterly.
We have 2 meetings a year. One is in the end of September, beginning of October, and the second is in the beginning of May. The meetings usually last an hour, no more than an hour and a half, 2 meetings a year.
And then the
Yeah, the committee meetings are from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
And there's advance notice.
Yeah, our meeting dates are already set. The September meeting is already set. I want to say it is, I can tell you in a moment. And then at that meeting, we'll set the schedule for the May meeting.
Okay.
Kind of like, the dates first.
We can appoint, well, no.
Looking for it on my
To
calendar.
expedite matters, we can appoint the members that we know of right now and promise to revisit pending people checking schedules, basically.
The date is Tuesday, September 12th, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you. That works? Okay, so there is your audit committee membership. Bear that in mind, because we're going to bundle some other things in with that. We move our attention now to finance committee, and the BOE members thus far are Ms. Kakal, Ms. Nielsen, and then Ms. Nielsen, are you tentative or are you?
No, I wanted to just see if Carrie wanted to take that. You know, I wanted to give everyone an
Fine,
opportunity.
that's
So,
fair.
I was gonna say, there's one that you're on,
that's what I wanted to do. So,
then you want
okay, so when does the finance committee meet?
Finance Committee meets at the end of August, I believe the morning of the August board meeting this month. 22nd. And then usually our other meeting is in May and June as we look to refinance our outstanding debt and also look at fund balance projection for the year end. So two meetings a year, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
So that, okay, so then I'd like to change my name.
That's fine. That works. Thank you. All right, so now we're moving down to C, which concerns the policy committee. The BOE members now are Ms. O'Brien and Ms. Nielsen tentative. Or is that's going to be okay? Okay.
Would you want someone to sit in as a just in case, or is the two of us okay?
Two would be
I
fine.
sent a question knowing that Bert wasn't going to be on board again.
Right.
So it's up to you, that's up to the board. What you guys want to do. I'm free to do it either way.
Yeah, so the theory is always to have two involved, just in case one can't continue. Odds are you won't lose two at the same time.
Okay, that's fine.
But the policy is kind of integral like that, and you might have somebody continuing along to keep the history.
Okay.
Okay, so it is as it here. And then last but not least, on the committee membership is the Brewster Education Foundation. And Ms. Masika is tentative or in?
I could do it again. It's interesting. It's a whole nother level of work. So initially it was as a liaison to the board, but it actually become a full-fledged member. And I'm now heading committees, and so there's a lot of work. We did have a few people actually leave, so I kind of feel like I had to take over some of those things, so at least one more year to make sure that I can help transition some things.
Is that something that you need another set of hands as well? I mean, I don't want to make it more heavy.
Well, I mean, a question could be, they are looking for more volunteers to be on the board. They're short on their board as it is. You know, so I don't know if, you know, how that, more could be on it as you two, or, I mean, I don't know if it matters. Do they have a position of one person in their charter? Is defined as one board person from the school board? From the school board. So it would have to be,
And it would have to be one person.
you know, they could do it as a resident, but yeah. But yeah, I'm starting to finish sending out thank you letters from the last scholarship and stuff. So there's just kind of a lot of things that kind of someone left early and so it's so I kind of feel like I need to at least type all those two sentences in one more year to get that all situated. And then at that point, if someone has a lot of extra time, just consider it. If everyone's okay with that, but yeah, okay.
Okay, so everything that Ms. Masika said about BEF is true. They are a very vital committee. They provide a lot of great services. It's a work committee. Nobody there gathers any dust. So thank you for being the liaison, which we officially have to have with BPF. But let the call go out. People who are interested should get in touch with that agency and let them know that you're interested, because they need able-bodied people. Okay, so we've outlined our membership in the various committees. I'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of that. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Thank you, Ms. Kakal. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? The committees are as you have established them. Item K, action items. Well, this is a change of pace. Okay, so now, these are real live action items. We are basically reorganized. Whether or not you feel reorganized doesn't matter. This is about as reorganized as we're going to get. To prove it, we've got some action items to take care of. Action item number 1 concerns the approval of a memorandum of agreement with the clerical chapter of the BTA. Ms. Culligan.
This is an agreement with the clerical unit to confirm an 11-month senior clerk position to a 12-month position. This is to fulfill the needs of the district.
Sounds good. We'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of this action item. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Thank you, Ms. Nielsen. Questions or comments concerning this item? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Action item number 2 concerns the approval of a side letter of agreement with the BTA. That would also be Ms. Culligan.
This establishes the salary and expectations of the .5 Dean of Students position at Wells.
Okay, fine. Take a motion, please, for your consideration of this side letter. Thank you, Glenn. Seconded by Ms. O'Brien. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, the motion passes. Action item number 3. See, sometimes you'll get your first name, sometimes you get the last name. And if I get really lucky, I'll get them both all lined up. Stop laughing, Ms. Gosh. This is what we're talking about. Action item number 3, the approval of side letter of agreement with the AAB and a resolution for non-union personnel and district office administrators. And finally, an addendum to the employment contract for Director of Business Services. Wow, a lot of stuff.
I kicked that off. One of the items associated with this particular group of action items is the appointment of Victor Carlson to Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations. As you know, Victor's responsibilities range from budget development to facilities, food services, and transportation. All parts of the construction project touch his hands. He makes certain that we are on sound financial footing and all resources are managed prudently and responsibly. Victor is not someone we want to see grabbed up as the group of superintendents who've been serving, or assistant superintendents who've been serving for 30 years are ready to retire. So this is the sort of safety net to ensure that Victor remains in our district doing the great work that he does. And he's done a phenomenal job. So I'd like to congratulate and thank the Board of Education for appointing him as Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations.
And speaking on behalf of the board, this wasn't a board decision. We're very happy that you suggested it, Dr. Henning. But everything you said is true, and I would add one other thing, and that is Victor is extremely loyal. He believes in Brewster, and he gives it his heart and soul, as do many of our employees, and that's why we're dedicated to holding on to those kind of folks, because they support this culture, and it's a culture we work real hard to build. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, and I just want to thank Dr. Henning and the board for your support of me over the past 3 years. I'm extremely humbled and even more so motivated to continue the good work that we're doing here in Brewster. We have an excellent vision in our strategic coherence plan, and I look forward to supporting the superintendent, the board, our wonderful and dedicated staff, and most importantly, our students. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Take a motion, please, for your consideration of this important action item. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Thank you, Ms. Kakal. Questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, Motion passes 7-0. We move on now for your consideration of action item number 4, which concerns the approval to dispose of district property. It's listed there, and that would be you, are you, Assistant Superintendent? There?
Yes, these are 4 vehicles, 4 of our older vehicles, and as you can see from the description, some of them have almost 300,000 miles on them, on their engines, and then all of them are dealing with frame issues due to rust.
Okay, that happens, I guess, in the Northeast here. We'll take a motion for your consideration of this action item. Thank you, Ms. Nielsen. Want to try me out again? Mr. Niles. There you go. Okay. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, the motion passes 7-0. Action item number 5, approval of contracts, agreements for administrative services, student accident insurance coverage, property and casualty insurance, fiscal advisors, internal audit services, school resource officer services, and public information services. That would be you.
Yes, so there's a number of items. Our 403B and 457B plan administrators is the Omni Group, and they ensure that contributions are made within IRS guidelines. Student accident insurance is a policy that we take out each year. It's not required through education law that we have student accident insurance, but the board has a policy that requires us to have it. This insurance coverage is secondary to the parents' insurance, and our agent is NIBEST. Property and casualty insurance, we have NYSER that we're all familiar with.
Yep.
They handle our insurance for any catastrophes that may happen due to unforeseen circumstances such as natural disasters or fraud. Let's see here.
Okay.
Cyber attacks. We have a number of policies, and as you see in the financial statement that NYSER provided us, they cover a number of different items. Moving on, we have our fiscal advisors who help us in our debt restructuring. We just issued a bond anticipation note that actually closes on Thursday. The internal audit services are Tobin and Company that we just recently went through a request for a proposal process, and we selected Tobin and Company as our internal auditors. Our SRO agreement is the agreement that we have with Putnam County that places 3 school resource officers in our buildings. And finally, public information services, we solicited the services of Eric Rose to provide public information services.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. We'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of this action item. Thank you again, Mr. Niles. Thank you, Ms. Kakal. Questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Action item number 6 concerns the approval of closure of inactive VHS Extra Classroom Activity Fund accounts. And I guess that would be back to you, Mr. Carlson.
Yes, this is a procedural resolution that we have pursuant to our board policy. Any activity that doesn't have, any club that doesn't have activity is required to be closed. It doesn't mean that the club is closed forever. It could be reopened at any point by following the normal approval process.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. I'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of this action item. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Thank you, Ms. Nielsen. I'll get you next time. Questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, the motion passes 7-0. Action item number 7 concerns a whole bunch of change orders. Mr. Carlson.
Yes, from time to time, change orders appear during our construction process. We have Joe Riley from KG&D Architects here to answer any questions for the board. And I just also wanted to, for transparency, to let the public know that there may be, and also the board to know that there may be a need to have emergency board meetings to approve change orders this summer. Sometimes there are needs that require immediate action, and the board will have to pass a change order. So I just want to put that on everyone's radar.
Thank you. Take a motion, please, for your consideration of these change orders. On Ms. Masika, seconded by Ms. Nielsen. Questions or comments from the board? Just wanted to comment, Joe, we appreciate, it's very noticeable the pace and the vigor of the whole work crew. And I know you guys are dedicated to getting a lot done this summer. We appreciate that.
We seem to have a very good team and they're working together well, so work is,
You bet.
things are going well. Tomorrow's another day.
Okay. We have a motion, it's been seconded, all those in favor? 7-0, we appreciate that also. Action item number 8 concerns the approval of organizations that raise funds on behalf of the district, and this is an important item. That would be,
I can take that.
sure, okay.
This past winter, the board adopted policy 1512,
Yeah.
which requires organizations that raise funds on behalf of the district to meet certain criteria and to be annually approved by the board. So based on our policy language, the organizations that are listed have met that criteria,
Yep.
and we submit them for your approval. We'd like to thank the organizations for all that they do to enhance the experience for our students.
Without a doubt, and this is a safety protocol, basically. Okay, well, thank you for that work. We need a motion, please, for your consideration of this motion. Thank you, Mr. Niles. Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, I'm sorry?
I just want to say, to these organizations, I know this was a change this year.
Yes.
So I appreciate their patience. I know we all know, I'm sure we all know, just,
Yep.
this was something new they had to do. So I thank them for just bearing with us and doing what they needed to do.
That's a good point that you're making, but it does make the whole organization stronger to have this protocol in place. Thank you for noting that. Other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Last but not least is action item number 9 that concerns the approval of lots of policies. And that's definitely back to you, Ms. Gosh.
Sure. The policies that we have on the agenda tonight for first and second read have all gone through the policy committee, have been vetted by our legal counsel, and are in line with our current practices.
Great, thank you. We'll take a motion, please, for your consideration of the approval of these policies. Thank you, Mr. Call and Ms. Nielsen. Questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, the motion passes 7-0. We move our attention now down to the consent agenda. Not a very long one, that's good. Take a motion, please, for your consideration of the consent agenda. Ms. O'Brien and Ms. Nasiki, I'll catch you next time, Glenn. Questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, motion passes 7-0. And we reversed things a little bit tonight. Thank you for being so patient.
Thank you.
How about some remarks? Okay.
In reverse order. First of all, I want to welcome Mr. Glenn Niles and Ms. Carrie Cunningham as our newest members of the Board of Education. We look forward to your contributions, and we thank you for your time in joining the board. As Joe mentioned, and Victor, there's a great deal of construction activity going on in the district and going at just a breakneck speed. It's really remarkable to see what's going on, and I want to thank Andy and Kenny and the entire team here in the district who are working tirelessly as well to ensure that everything goes the way it's supposed to. And obviously, a series of thank yous to our taxpayers and our public for allowing us to pass this bond, which is responsible for all this great work and ensuring that our facilities represent our value that we place on education. Again, a thank you to the students who were here, our graduates who were enlisted in the military. I want to thank Chief Belangas. I want to thank Ms. Hoyler and Mr. Stack and Ms. Sullivan for all their work that they've been doing. We obviously are going to be looking at all of our activities at the end of the year so that we make sure that if there are traditions that need to change, that we upgrade those traditions. So that's certainly something that we're committed to moving forward. I want to thank Senator Murphy for an additional $25,000 that was added to our state aid. This supports our mental health initiative, and it allows us to hire for full-time a mental health counselor who will counsel our children who experience trauma and stress and drug or alcohol-related challenges and even suicide prevention. Through counseling and parental outreach, collaboration with outside and local agencies, and education for staff and students and parents will be able to provide a very strong safety net for our children. I just read today in the latest statistics from the National Institute of Mental Health. This is stunning. 46.3% of our children between the ages of 13 and 18 have lifetime prevalence for mental health disorders. 21.4% between the ages of 13 and 18 have severe disorders. And that list includes mood disorders, major depression, conduct disorder, anxiety, depression, panic, eating disorders, and trauma. So that alone should indicate why this board has committed to ensuring that we have mental health counselors, not only at our K-8 level, and one of them is appointed tonight, and that's Helga, who will work with our students in K-8, and then John Carlo, who's already hired as a school counselor here in the high school, and that was as the result of a change in a position that we could no longer need to fund. So that's a huge, huge commitment to ensuring that we're able to provide supports for our students. And again, I want to thank Senator Murphy, and he would have been here tonight, but he's on vacation. I think that's a better plan, right? We will invite him back to further thank him for that. I want to remind the public that our meal program that operates at St. Lawrence O'Toole is funded by the Department of Agriculture. The Brewster taxpayer is not paying for this. This meal program is available to all children 18 years and under in Putnam County. A student at Putnam Valley who attends Putnam Valley or Mahopac or Carmel can also participate in this program. It's the first of its kind in Putnam County. It makes available 2 nutritious meals for children. It started yesterday and goes until August 25th. I want to thank Kathy Ash and Victor Carlson for their efforts to first of all apply to make it possible. Before this program, the nearest program was in White Plains. So this is a really major resource for our community. And we look forward to continuing to run it, and operate it, and we look forward to building connections to families so that we remind them that this is available. So Victor has some other efforts underway to make sure that that happens. But again, this is paid for through funding by the Department of Agriculture. Tomorrow, through Nikki Hoyler's efforts and Daniel Sullivan, we're hosting the 4th Annual Regional Leadership Institute. A group of administrators from around the region will come here to learn for 2 days, both to not only provide learning, but also to participate. So it's a really wonderful effort. So I want to thank them for offering up Brewster High School for that effort. I also want to recognize 2 new administrators who are hired tonight, or board appointed tonight. James Traylor, new Director of Technology and Innovation, who will start next month, and Karen Kellogg, who's the new Assistant Principal for CD Star Intermediate School. So we welcome them into the fold. And finally, I want again to congratulate Victor for his great work and his well-deserved appointment.
Nice summary. I'll keep my remarks very short and brief. To the board, in particular, this edition of the board, I thank you for your vote of confidence tonight in choosing to have me be your president. It's been 12 years now, and I want to assure you that your faith will not be misplaced. Mr. Stack will tell you that runners, the longer they run, the more dogged they get. And I'm in this for the full duration. I'm proud to be your voice. I'm humbled by it also, because I know this is a strong community and you have high demands. And I'm extremely, extremely proud, and everywhere I go I sing the praises of the public here, of what you have literally and figuratively built. And that's where the leadership is. It's out there. I see it every graduation day that we sit at. It didn't happen by accident. It happened by a whole bunch of people deciding to take themselves and their children very, very seriously. And I defy anybody statewide to find a similar community with similar resources that's done what we've done in these 18 years. It is remarkable. Before I leave, I'll give you the number. Not today. The sticker shock would scare you. But the fact of the matter is, I've got the data to back it up. Brewster is a heck of a community, and I'd be crazy not to accept this role. Thank you. I think we have to make a motion here, huh? Not yet? Okay. You're right. Public remarks and information. I am, huh? Of course. We've got a lot more remarks to go. I do that. Just test and see if you're following the action here. Okay, first we're going to do public remarks and information, and then we might as well do board remarks first, though, right? 12 years, you think I'd get this right? Okay, we're going to do board remarks. It's starting to feel like at home. Never mind. Okay, board remarks. Please feel free.
Okay, congratulations to Steve and Sonia on taking charge of leading the board. Welcome to Kerry and Glenn. I hope your first board meeting is going smoothly. You're doing a stellar job raising your hands.
And this is really who we are.
This is who we are. I do want to say to Steve and Sonia, I want to ask actually, what can we do as a board to support you in your roles? And I say that because you take on a lot. I think we have a lot of talent on this board. We're willing to roll up our sleeves and help out. I know in one of our sessions we talked about divvying things up, someone taking emails, let's say, someone helping with agendas. So my question is, what can we do to support you? And if there's something that you need me to do in particular, I am more than happy to. Or if this is a retreat discussion, you tell me.
My first response would be your last idea. Let's make that a cornerstone. I know we have a number of items, but let's make it a cornerstone of our discussion at the retreat. The email that I sent out over the weekend talking about my philosophy of leadership is to distribute the leadership. Old days, one leader, that's it, the end of story. These days, a successful team shares leadership. We distribute the leadership. So I appreciate your suggestion. Hold us to it as we go into the retreat, that we exit the retreat with things distributed and everybody knows how they will be helping out.
Okay. Do we have a date confirmed for the retreat yet?
It's going to be in September, we know that.
September, it's definitely September. Okay.
Yep. Just so the audience knows, so what does this board do? We schedule, and this board's been very good about it, having a regular time to do professional development. Why? Because we consider this work to be a professional kind of work. And pursuant to that, we'll be talking shortly about dates. Due to availability limitations, we probably won't be able to do it until September. But as you can see, there's interest and there's an agenda building already. Yes, ma'am.
I had the privilege of going to the NISBA reception for board members.
Yes.
Our reputation precedes us, and I got to bask in that because people heard Brewster and they just couldn't say enough wonderful things about Brewster. So I wanted to share that because it wasn't geared towards me, it was to all of us.
Right.
There was a board member from another district that when he heard about our strategic coherence plan, his eyes were dancing at what we have been doing for the last 2 years and shocked that we could do it. So I was really excited to share that. Also, the president, Susan, and our regional director made mention of, while they called it the Board Officer Academy, they said everyone was invited, and so that's coming up in August. And I jumped ahead and saw that we have the very esteemed Dr. Jambor leading one of the sessions at this workshop. So they suggested that anyone could go. I signed up at no cost to Brewster to go to that, so I'll get to hear what Dr. Jambor has to say about emotional intelligence. I'm very excited about that. We had another speaker at West, but Susan and Peggy were both excited to say that that's not just for board officers, that anyone could come, and they were very excited that everybody comes if they can come, if that's available. So, like I said, at no cost to Brewster, I jumped on that at their suggestion.
So that's a great point that you're making, that in at least these 20 years, Brewster is known. And you all have had a say in that, you see. We're not that sleepy little village north of the border anymore. And because you get to meetings, you make your contributions, the district is building itself constantly, people are noticing. They notice for better or for worse. Luckily, in our case, they notice. So that's great. And sneak preview is, in response to what Dr. Henning was talking about, yeah, we have a social emotional crisis among our children out there. And I'm getting very loud about it now. There's no reason to be timid. So we've re-engineered board retreats and workshops around this top priority issue. Boards need to be smarter about it, and they need to support stronger services in their districts. And I'm not talking down to this board. I know where your heart's at. But you're going to see an article coming out, just finished it last night, in Onboard. It's going to talk about the heart of the matter is the heart and well-being of our children. We're not pulling punches on this, so we need everybody to get this story and get with it. Sure.
So thank you and welcome. So it's funny because I had Kristen to your point. It's on, right? Yeah. I had made a list of actually all the committees and the different things that we do, and I was going to bring it up in my comments today, so along with what you're saying, but I think, yes, a retreat. And I was going to ask us, how did we want to tackle that exact issue? So I have 19 line items. So since you brought up, there's 19 things we can divvy up. No, so someone else can round it. Right, so perfect. So the retreat, that can be part of what we work out.
Yep.
And I'll leave it to that. And then the other thing that it struck me, since it's the beginning of a new school year for us essentially, the school calendar. I don't know if I missed that in any communication, but I thought last year we said that we would send out the hard copies, but that going forward with the next year we would give enough advance notice that we were going to be doing electronic. Or do we make a decision about paper or not paper? Yeah, because I wanted to start off the school year.
Sure, the calendar is under development now, and I think it's in our best interest to have a paper-based calendar. People still want a paper-based calendar, so it's under construction, and it'll be mailed in August. It'll be online as well, but we have plenty of people. I still have like the skid marks from that. So we are going to have a paper-based calendar.
Okay, good. Just a question. So that's it for me for now.
Okay, for now.
Okay.
Any other board comments? Now, our last topic is to open the floor for Victor and Michelle and Kathy for your comments, please.
Thought maybe the new assistant superintendent would go first, but I'll jump in.
Ladies first, though.
I just wanted to take a moment to highlight some professional learning opportunities that we have going on this summer. As you know, our anchor text this year has been most likely to succeed, and looking at the data, we had about 48 or 49% of our instructional staff that took part in book talks. So in an effort to raise that number, or increase that number, Dr. Henning and I will be hosting a book talk next week. And we will also have all of our new educators take part in a half-day book talk as well. It's kind of a way to introduce them into the system and to let them know what we're all about. We also, speaking of social emotional intelligence, we have our professional learning underway for our K-5 ruler program. We had 2 teams that attended a workshop at BOCES 2 weeks ago, and we will be reconvening to plan the K-5 implementation of that. And our 612 COPE program will be trained by the founder, Bernadette, on August 8th. And then we'll have a half-day planning session to plan the extended team training and the implementation 612. You may remember earlier in the year we had 2 Saturday differentiated instruction workshops. We will have another set of those workshops July 24th and 25th for staff members who cannot attend. And of course the Department of Technology and Innovation, they have a number of offerings this summer. And again, it's not about the technology as much as it is about improving student learning through increasing engagement and skills like collaboration and communication. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure, sure.
When I was reading the information, it talked about 6th and 9th grade as transitional years,
Yes.
and then other students. But was there a continuation, like for kids who maybe miss part of the program or transfer in, or just a consistent yearly thing with all the other grades as well that may be different than 6th and 9th?
Yes, so we focused to begin on grade 6 and 9 because the research says that those are key transition years for future success. We also have talked with our administrative team about integrating this into our MTSS process. So for students who need additional support in tiers 2 and tier 3, that this 15-session program, which is really cognitive behavioral therapy mixed in with holistic type of wellness activities could be implemented. And we've talked with the building principals about what that looks like moving forward. So making sure that 2-3 years out, every student 6-12 has these skills and is able to make sure they apply them when they're dealt with challenging situations.
Okay, good, thank you.
Sure.
Well, instructional hires are just about completed. We currently have 2 vacancies we are working on, a .6 E&L position at JFK and a .6 special ed consultant position at CV Star. We are currently planning the new employee orientation program for all new employees on Tuesday, August 29th. In teacher certification, I previously reported to you 2 teachers whose certification was expiring on August 31st. I'm happy to report they have completed the process and their professional certification has been issued. So everybody's all set for the opening of school.
Thank you, Ms. Cohen, appreciate it. Mr. Carlson?
And I just want to add on to the points that Dr. Henning made. One, we're very, very excited about the program operating at St. Lawrence O'Toole, our summer food service program. We just completed day 2. As Dr. Henning mentioned, we are going to be promoting the program throughout the community as we've been doing for the past few months. Construction, again, is in full swing. If you take a look across the street at JFK, you can tell that a significant amount of progress is taking place. We're very, very excited. Within the first week, the roundhouse and the auditorium were completely gutted. It was absolutely incredible the amount of work that they got done in such a short period, and they continue to do, throughout the summer. So we're very excited about that. We're anxious to have it completed on time and under budget as it's been throughout the entire construction period. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Appreciate the update. And last but not least, public remarks and information. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is yours. Yes, sir.
Ms. Hussey.
I'm sorry,
That's Ms. Hussey.
We can't,
I saw a hand up.
Is it somebody else or me?
Okay.
Okay. First, I'd like to say congratulations to Mr. Carlson.
you need to come to the mic.
Do you mind Ms. Hussey coming to the podium so we can hear the wonderful things that you're about to say?
Yeah, and they're all good.
You guys, it's the best school district in the world.
First, I would like to say congratulations to Mr. Carlson. Welcome to our new administrators. You're going to love it, I'm telling you. It's nothing like the Brewster schools anywhere in the world. The other thing I'd like to say is God bless these young people going into the military, especially at turbulent times right now. I just pray for their safety and God bless them for taking that on. The other thing I'd like to say, thank you to the Brewster schools. Once again, I have a severely autistic son who resides at Anderson Center for Autism, who just graduated into the adult services with the top award in the school. God bless the Brewster schools for all their support for him over the years, particularly the special ed department. It was never a problem, always correct placement, and if he needed, they knew, they used common sense, they were great. There is no special ed department in the world like this one. It's just been, it should be a model for the whole state. And yeah, I was like, he got the Victor V. Anderson Award for Outstanding Achievement. That's the top award. Only one kid gets it, and the kid from Brewster got it, because he was the only graduate of the 15 from the Brewster schools. And when they do their program, I'll bring it in someday, they put what school districts the kids are from. So here it is, James Patrick Hussey from Brewster Central School District. And it was so amazing. We were surprised.
I can't thank the Worcester Schools enough for that.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Other questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, I think we are back to your motion.
Yes. Now I'd like to make a motion to adjourn to executive session
Okay.
for a few things we need to do. One, we have to get an update on our technology and security audit,
Yep.
and also a workers' compensation decision discussion.
I have a motion, I have a second from Ms. O'Brien. All those in favor? We might get time for the All-Star game, I don't know. All right, thank you.